Everybody's jumping in on the regulation of crypto. What a mess that we are getting into. We have a pot of crap that we are going through. Some of those articles, but we also have an article on a positive note here that I really want to go over. It's about CBDCs. All today on OG Crypto and NFTs. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in digital assets and non-fungible tokens. And before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that like button. Oh, I try to fake out my producer Emi, and then hit the subscribe button. Yes, it will help us out. We're gonna build this channel. We've been trying to build this channel for a while. We're gonna continue doing this. First thing up today is U.S. Congressman Bill, it's Emmers, proposed bill to block Federal Reserve from creating American CBDC. What's going on? This is genius. But I don't think that the blue team is going to go for it. What it's basically saying is that you can't have unelected officials or unelected, Federal Reserve who has nothing to do with the government, by the way, but just runs the government, runs our money, our monetary system. They can't make their rules for the United States. Now, I hope that not only is he taking it here, but I hope he takes it and shoves it down Gary Gensler's throat as well when it comes to all his rules that he pulls out of his beep. Exactly. So, but I do like that. Tom Emmers here, he's a good guy. I think that there's a lot on his plate. He has the CBDCs. He doesn't want nothing to do with the Fed having to do with it. He wants Congress to vote on it, and that's where it should be. Laws are made by Congress. It is not made by the Federal Reserve, and it's not made by unelected officials like Janet Yellen, as well as Gary Gensler. So good job, Tom. I know he has a lot on his plate. After this, we have to go after AI because AI will get out of control real fast if we don't have that somewhat regulated. This is what Elon Musk calls as it could be the biggest disaster in human mankind. So, all right, next article. SEC objects to Binance's US $1 billion Voyager deal, alleging sales of unregistered securities. This is hypocrisy all the way to the top by the SEC. They had no problem you having FTX going in there and buying BlockFi, right? But oh my God, here comes Binance and the Voyager $1 billion to get back the little guy's money. What does SEC and Gary Gensler do? No, that's a sale of unregistered securities. Gary, which ones are unregistered and which ones are registered? Tell us. You're not going to. Get this guy out of here. Talk about it being just a bad decision over and over. Having Gary Gensler in this spot, all he's doing is slowing crypto down so his buddies in the banking system, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, they could catch up because they are severely behind and they're trying to figure out who the winner and losers are so they don't have to spread their money and take losses. Next, this is a kind of a funny one. By the way, before we jump into this, do me a favor, hit that like button again because you can't hit that like button enough, right? Just like my wife can't stop hitting me enough. Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Because I don't have a wife. All right. Well, my producer, let's just same shit. Work wife. I'm sorry. Oh. Hey, you know when it's a Hispanic, but you're not? I'm kidding. All right. Ex-Cohasset, who the hell is that? Employee allegedly runs cryptocurrency mining operations under high school. Hey guys, how is the best way to learn in high school? It's to set up a crypto mining under the high school because the crap that they're telling you there gets you nowhere in life. Nowhere do they talk about finances. And, nowhere do they even get into the birds and the bees. Come on, guys. You want reality? This is the reality. Go under a high school and then get arrested for it. Next. Innovation is everywhere, even under churches and high schools. Regulators let bad guys get big. Former Kraken CEO speaks out after SEC settlement. Absolutely. Gary Gensler is on the take, allegedly. When you're meeting with SBF or FTX or whatever antonym or synonym or whatever, okay? You know that he is there for the money grab. He's not there to regulate him. He'll spin it that way, and the New York Times, that garbage toilet paper, and the Washington Post, the other garbage toilet paper, will give it to you different ways. But if you guys really want to know anything that's happening in the real world, including what the reality is, yeah, Twitter is the way to go. We've seen that time and time again. Elon Musk, thank you very much, because all the lies that we keep seeing continue to roll out. The regulator is the issue in crypto. You can lock that up. He's met with the bad actors. He's allowed all of them to go out and screw the general public. And what does he do? He fights for his VCs to get their money back, but he will not fight for the little guy. Ever. Look at the Voyager. Getting $1 billion from Binance, this is not about the little guy getting his money back, his life savings in some aspects. It's more about blocking Binance from growing. That's all this is. It's about making his buddies happier and in the banking system and getting back at him, because the blue team just got cut off at the knees with all the contributions that he was giving in 2020 and in 2022. And now they're all mad, and they're all got caught with their I don't know, skivvies down. So, all right, let's just move on. We're going to bring in our infamous or famous, whatever you want to call her, Emi. How are you doing, Emi?
I'm good. How are you?
That's not the introduction I was trying
to speak that way.
No, I got to speak this way.
Yeah. Well,
okay. Wow.
It's fine.
Earthquake.
We're good.
Earthquake. Cue the earthquake.
Cue the earthquake.
So we need you to kind of.
This way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So NBA brand Top Shot Moments, NFTs, maybe securities. Judge rules in Dapper Labs case. You want me to go over, don't you? You're like, ha!
This is just insanity, dude, because the longer that we don't have clarification on what regulation is, the longer that this shit show can just go on.
Correct.
They can just keep pulling whoever they feel like firing at that day.
So let's go over Dapper Labs, and let's go over NBA Top Shots or Top Shot Moments. So what it was is that way back before NFTs really hit, they came out with these Top Shots, and they were selling like crazy. They're moments in time, and especially in the basketball realm, moments in time in which you'd get an NFT with some action. Right?
It's like a video, right?
Yeah. So Dapper Labs sold those, and then of course they traded hands, on the secondary market. Well, this lawsuit's very, very interesting to, drumroll please, Ripple. Why? Because Dapper Labs, because this lawsuit alleges that the only securities that are in this is the actual initial sales from Dapper Labs out to the public. It is not. They make it a point that it's not alleged that secondary sales on the secondary market have anything to do with securities. There's nothing here that shows that if I buy an NBA Top Shot, that I actually hope that Dapper Labs promotes it so the value of the exactly. This is another landmark, case that if the judge comes back, and it looks like it's going to happen, it's just going to be the initial public offering. That's why it's so big out there, because again, you can go after the initial people and the founders of this, but it's tough to go after secondary sales. We saw this in the library case, where library ended up being a little slap on the hand, just cost them millions of dollars and put them out of business just fighting the SEC, right?
No big deal.
But the secondary sales of all library tokens, the judge went to the SEC right in court and said, you agree that they're not looking for library to pump this coin? And they said, no, secondary sales aren't. This is a very, very big case going on right now with Dapper Labs and NBA Top Shot Moments. All right, next one.
All right, can you read that for me?
Tokenizing the Titanic. Well, I mean, everything's being tokenized. Everything will be tokenized. There'll be no question. Real estate to, insurances to everything, memorabilia, artifacts, and this is exactly what it is. New partnership brings real artifacts from wreckage to NFT market. Talk to us about it, producer Emi.
Okay, so this is interesting in that it involves the RMS Titanic. And there is they hold an exclusive salvage rights over the wreck and the wreckage of the site of the Titanic. They're a Hong Kong based venture smart financial holdings and Web3 firm Artifact Labs. So those three companies will begin tokenizing precious artifacts from the Titanic to unlock a myriad of Web3 functionalities. The plan is to preserve some artifacts as NFTs and share ownership with the public. I like this. They're gonna do 5,500 of these, and this is gonna be on Immutable. It didn't say anything about like a launch date specifically.
I think this is the initial,
like them just kind of telling
press release
that they're doing this. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I think this is interesting. It could, like, what if, let's just say, somewhere way in the future, tokenize the pyramid. I don't know, something crazy. Maybe someone really want to buy in on that who isn't necessarily into NFTs or Web3 or digital assets. So I could see this as like bringing adoption, or I don't know, maybe this will just flop. And
So here's my take on this. There's two different types of, let's say, tokenization. One here is I already have a company in possession of these artifacts, and actually they have the rights to them. They probably bought them off. They bought them off an American company. I'm almost positive. Okay, they're turning around and they're saying, "Here, I'll take pictures of them, and then then I will produce what's called an NFT, and then you can go out and trade these NFTs of pictures." Now, this isn't about possession. And other things are going to be more possession orientated. For an example, if I go out and I buy a set of Jordan, 2020 23s, blah blah blahs, right? Well, when I buy them, I receive a NFT with them, so they're connected, and it shows authentication, but it also shows like possession of it, and it shows a picture of my actual, tennis shoes, right? Or memorabilia. I think that this is going to be this is a lot different. And it's a lot different in the respect that you have a much smaller group of people that are going to want this, because most people that really want an artifact from this wreckage has already bought it. Now, we've seen on many shows, you can buy a saucer for $400, right? You can buy the teacup for $1,200. You can buy blah, blah, blah. So those are already out there, right? And there's the actual collectibles. These are just pictures of collectibles. So it brings in a lot more thought of what NFTs will come into. And will these NFTs be of real value, or will they just be, they'll just be pictures, right? They'll be just pictures like animal pictures. The reason I say that is if I owned a teacup off of the Titanic that I spent $1,200, I want to mint that teacup as the actual NFT and not the artifact of it, right? Not the picture of the picture, right? I know it's a real artifact, but what a real artifact is I have possession of it, and then that possession is an NFT. And when I sell it, the NFT goes as a possession. That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. I just don't think this is like a phygital thing like that.
Right. And I get it. So then what is it really worth?
I'm not sure, but I think it could have value eventually, depending on how many people buy into it, because there's certain people who are like cuckoo crazy about specific things. You know what I mean? Like the people who travel and get those thimbles and weird stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's just
no, you know those thimbles, the little no, it was like a collectible thing.
I'm old.
Yeah, that's why you should know it. It's like a thing from the past. Okay, anyways. So Spotify is testing playlists that could be unlocked by NFT holders, and they are doing this in partnership with Kingship, which is a metaverse band signed to Universal Music Group. And basically, they're just piloting that they would have playlists that could be unlocked through NFTs in certain geographies. I think this is it's a different way to bring adoption, as well as like people who aren't into NFTs, maybe they'll see something like this and get curious. But it's showing that if you are into NFTs, that you're gonna get exclusive things, right?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that at first when I saw this, I'm saying, well, what's the difference between a band that I can see at the club and a metaverse band, right? I mean, it's...
Well, actually, I have a good answer for this. So do you know who the Gorillas are?
Yes.
Okay, so it's one guy, right?
Right.
But when he goes on
tour,
he has a bunch of
okay,
other
yeah,
members
okay.
of the band. So I think this is kind of expanding on that concept.
Okay. Like hologram?
I think they have had like a I don't know if they've done hologram, but I know there's like a big like visual that like goes with it. Because they're like made up. They're not real people. They're characters he created that are a band. So this was essentially like the first version of a metaverse band.
That's pretty cool. Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I know we have about 10 minutes to 15 minutes in our videos, but we like to go over everything, including NFTs and all of the crazy news that's out there all the time from like our government, and most it's all from our government, right? Doing crazy things, trying to make sure that you don't get cryptocurrency. Thank you guys. Take care. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.